Back streets back. All right. Welcome back to the alley oop. You got to know if you don't know. You got to see if you're blind. I'm joined by my illustrious big dogs, Tony Coladiu, aka 10-Day Tony, aka Big Papa. How you feeling tonight, big bruh?
Dude, not as good as Jalen Williams. Jada feeling good tonight going home, boy. Let me tell you.
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
He said,
I'm also joined by my sister. She got that look in her eyes tonight. She is not happy. The illustrious Trista Crick. What you thinking about, sis?
What's up, y'all? How's it going?
It's going.
It's going. Do you change into your little bullshit when you know that the game has already been won, or do you actually have clairvoyance? I'm feeling you change into this after the game is won.
And I would have took all your money. I got a picture of me in the second quarter. I knew what I was wearing before these games start. As you would see in the IG story, if you check us out, whatever my picture is in the IG story is how I'm feeling and what I'm pretty much going with. You dig me? Neither here nor there. I'll dunk on my sister later. But we also joined by the big dog himself, Amin El Hassan, live from the scene of the crime. How you feel, big bro?
It's very loud here. It was loud all night long, and people were just chanting. They stopped chanting now, but they were chanting one more win. It was a crazy night here.
Bro, we got to get into it, man. TJ McConnell, I'm going straight for the good juggler. TJ McConnell had too big of a third quarter to ride the pine in the fourth quarter. Rick Carlisle, pardon me, Jim Carrey from The Mask. Pardon me, Jim Carrey from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. What are you doing with your lineups, your rotations? Andrew Nembhard, turnover after turnover. Sis, talk to the people. I'm a little too hot. Tell them what you feel, sis.
I was texting you like this is Rick Carlisle's worst game of the series.
Yes.
The rotations were awful. Had no ability to sense who had it going and who didn't, and who to keep in and who to take the hell out. Andrew Nembhard was tentative, and you're right. Like, you want him on the floor because of his defense, but he has 5 turnovers, it feels like, in a row. You've got TJ McConnell, the only guard that's going straight to the hoop, breaking guys down off the dribble, getting contact, and one, stealing the ball. He's doing everything. He's your best player out there. And it takes you until 3 minutes is left in the game to put him back in. No Matherin. It's just... And we know it's like you see Tyrese Haliburton is rough out there. He didn't have a field goal in the game, as we know. The graphic came up a bajillion times. But it's clear he's like me out there, just going east and west and east and west and east and nothing downhill. You're not going to get separation when you're doing that, my guy. And we all know you ain't got it. So why the fuck is he in the game, guys? Why, Rick? Why? And John Goble's a little bitch. And you guys know what time it is. And it's not just that he wouldn't give the ball to Pascal Siakam, because you guys know that was bitch made. It's the fact that he tried to sun Pascal Siakam for asking for the ball. Like, listen here, motherfucker. I am the ref. You are the player.
Right.
I'm heated. I am heated.
I couldn't tell.
Heated.
I mean, what you think? What you saw? What's your first observation, bro?
Well, first of all, Tyrese Haliburton had 4 more points than Michael Jackson tonight.
Wow.
Look, I get that there was something wrong with him. Obviously, we didn't get any of that. Like, I had to find that out from the internet. But to me, it kind of felt like game 2, where he's just kind of, hey, I'm just trying to do the right thing, get everyone involved, and you got to do a little bit more than that. What about it?
Exactly. Look at Hollywood. I'll take over for you right quick. My thing about it, my boy, is if you're hurt, go to damn church. Sit your ass on the bench, bro. You in the NBA Finals. This ain't the play one. Bro went to the locker room and came back asser. More ass.
I will say
Go
this.
ahead.
It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if he doesn't come back, everyone's like, oh, how could you not play? It's the biggest game of the year, da-da-da. If you come back and you play like shit, everyone's like, man, you should have sat your ass down. Now, to me, that's on the coach. That's on more Rick Carlisle because, like you said, JuJu, the night that TJ McConnell was having his biggest, the reason they were in the game was because TJ McConnell, as I turned to the dude behind me, I said, this is what they must have felt like in Boston in '86 when they said that was God disguised as Michael Jordan. I said that was Michael Jordan disguised as TJ McConnell, because that shit was just crazy. It was crazy, but like to sit him all the way into like 3:20, I think, left in the game, I felt like it was too long of a set.
Tony, what you thought, bro?
I think I said it either last game or the game prior that the offense looks better when TJ McConnell's running it.
Yeah,
and now
we
you
hate him, and you don't even like him.
I hate him more than any player that I've ever seen in my entire life, because he does everything perfectly. Everything is just so perfect and so right every single time. It's like the fundamental kid that you hated playing with. It's like, all right, buddy, yeah, you want to set the screen and do the roll, and just everything's so like, just get out of here. Like, I don't want to see it. Anyways, I have to give him props because, bro, he came in and balled out. Like, I saw at a certain point in the third quarter that he had assisted or scored in 18 straight points for the Pacers. It's like he's Haliburton at max capacity, and he's running around doing the same moves that he does, and nobody seems to realize, like, he's gonna dive hard into the paint, he's gonna get downhill, he's gonna jump stop, and he's gonna shoot a little fader, and he's gonna jump 8 feet in the air, and all you gotta do is just wait for him and then go block it. It's the easiest thing to do, but nobody can do it. I thought this was probably, and I'm trying to think of maybe what would be worse, but this is probably, Tristan, you said Rick Carlisle's worst game of the series coaching wise. I think it's probably the worst game he's had in the playoffs this season. This is the game they needed to have, and it felt like it slipped away a couple of different times. The Thunder would stretch the lead, and then when they started cutting it, where it went to basically almost a 2-point game, or if they may have taken the lead, I don't remember exactly what it was, like late in that third quarter, early fourth. It's like we need to be pulling all the right strings here, and it just seemed like he didn't. And I understand, like, the game is close. You want to get Haliburton in. You want to see if he can find some sort of magic towards the end of the game. He didn't have it. And he played that hand, and it was a bad hand.
Yeah, can we give?
My bad, bro. Before we get to that, salute to the chat. I went too long without saluting the chat. Warren Corpus, Iron Salamander, Johnny Brave, Joshua Tony, Anthony Daniel Jr. say he outside the arena right now. Turn the F up, Thunder the F up. Cincinnati Puncho, Cloud Feet Creation. Without y'all, who the hell are we? Back to you, Amin.
Man, I know everyone's reaction is let's shit on the team that lost, but come on, man. How about my man Jalen Williams, man? They were asking, is he good? Is he good enough to be a number 2? I'm like, you guys are out of your mind. Out of your minds. That man was an all-star for a reason. He showed it tonight. He actually showed it last game as well. The aggression, the ability to get to the hole and finish time and time again, going off of the wrong foot, wrong hand, left foot, left hand, right foot, right hand, high off the glass, and ones dunking on people, hitting 3. He did it every single way imaginable, and I'm so happy for him. Obviously, Shea was excellent again, but I'm happy that he got the shine on the biggest stage, because, man, this kid is. I don't know how you could be underrated an all-star, but he's underrated as an all-star.
You know, it felt a little Kawhi-esque. You know, it's not pretty, and he doesn't have a bag. But it's so effective, and you can't bump him off his spot. He's so strong. he's like almost when he has it going like that, he's almost robotic. Even when it's just a little off, it still has the perfect spin to go in. Everything he was doing felt like it was contributing to the Thunder playing winning basketball, whether that was causing turnovers, deflections, going around screens and fighting through them, causing, the Pacers to feel frenzied and speeding them up when Shea was on the bench. It felt like San Antonio and Toronto Kawhi in spurts.
My sister say my boy don't have no bag. I'm like, I mean,
it's not a good look.
No bag is 43 on the yellow team.
Yeah.
No bag is 0 on the other team, the yellow team. Goddamn, because I'm back on his ass. Bruh, it's the finals. You see the man behind you having a game. It's up to you to lead this team. Go to coach and say, Coach, I ain't got it right now. because it wasn't just the end of the third quarter. It was mid fourth quarter. Them boys down 4 points. Like, bro, and Andrew Nembhard, I promise to God on my entire life, you are a tough-ass player. You earned yourself a lot of money in these playoffs, but this is the worst game. You had the worst, loudest turnovers I have ever seen in a finals game. Back to back to back. Come on now. Carlisle, my bad. I know, I know, I get it. But I'm over it, bro. And then guess what the same equalizer is? Guess who we didn't see tonight, and guess what happened? No Thomas Bryant. No Bryant W. You don't play Thomas Bryant, you don't get the win.
You saw Tony Bradley though.
You didn't like the return of the Tony Bradley minutes?
I didn't hate him, but you gotta sneak in my dog Thomas Bryant, man. If you want the W, bro.
The corner three.
You looking at me, look at them eyes.
I know, y'all gonna kill me, but Haliburton had two of the nicest assists tonight, man. Yeah, one to Tony Bradley. And he had the other one that is Obi Toppin, which is crazy because he saw Chet Holmgren. He turned out, he saw Chet Holmgren on the ground. He's like, oh, shit. Never made eye contact again and just threw that shit this way. And Obi Toppin caught it. It was kind of nice. I don't know.
Mr. Haliburton must be 2 feet from you right now. That's all that's happening.
He's about to shake his hand right
here. Look
here.
at him. He's shaking the hand. That's Mr. Haliburton.
Oh, he just gave him a hug. He just gave Papa Haliburton a hug. That's crazy.
Want to hear that shit? 2 assists. 2 nice assists in a pivotal game 5 in the finals. And the lights was too bright for Ben Shepherd tonight. He shouldn't have saw the floor. If Thomas Bryant can't see the floor, Ben Shepherd and that weak-ass mustache should not see the floor. And have you ever noticed if you cut Ben Shepherd mustache off, he looked just like Kid from Kid and Play.
Damn.
Neither here nor there. Damn. Tony, what you got?
I think that
Pink Flanny's cut too.
Come on. Salute to all those fighting breast cancer.
Yes,
even though this is an October Cup, I get a year round, you know.
You got to know.
I will say this about J-Dub. There was a lot of conversation in the Denver series, like, whoa, everything is too fast. He's not playing at an all-star caliber level. Yeah. And since Game 7, we had a great game. I think 24 is what I saw off the box score here. Since Game 7 of the Denver series in the second round, he's gotten better and better and better and better. Every series, every game almost, he's gotten better and better outside of the blowout that they had in Minnesota that he played 25 minutes. But I was looking through the log of the finals, and it's like, damn, okay. Like, welcome to the NBA Finals. Welcome to a championship ring, because Jalen Williams has been playing out of his mind. And we didn't think that at the beginning of the playoffs, especially during the Denver series. But right now, it's like, oof, here we go. This is why right here, this is why the Thunder are going to win the NBA title. Because if you look at Shea's game, he had 31, but he had 9 for 21. It's like,
and a lot of that was getting to the free throw line at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about who shut that door when that door started to open for Indiana? Who slammed that shit shut? It was Jalen Williams.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also,
that D-cell shot off the glass was nice.
I'm not gonna say who said it, but somebody made an Angel Reese comparison at one point for your boy Chet.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, how many of these bunnies you gonna miss, man?
That's true.
Speaking of Angel Reese, Bria Hartley, salute to you in the Connecticut Sun. But you had a handful of ponytail, sis, with a braid. Talking about you grabbed her braid by mistake. Come on now. Call a spade. You grabbed the braid. Neither here nor there. Salute to Angel triple double. First in the history. Vance Williams from the chat say Jay Will don't have a bag. He got a skinny wallet with a black card in it. I mean,
I'll take that any day.
Right.
He's got Apple Pay, and that shit never runs out, man. He just scans it. Doesn't need a duffel. Doesn't need a lot of moves. He's that one guy who has like 2-3 moves, and he just mixes and matches them. Finds a way to, like you were saying, Tony, just high off the glass, a little spin.
His move is north and south. That's his move. Yeah. I'm going to get north and south. I'm going to get into the paint. And I'm going to make something happen. Either I'm going to get fouled. I'm going to finish high off the glass with either hand. I can decel and hit a little floater. Like his bag inside the restricted area is crazy.
And the jump stop and then pivot and turn and shoot over the other shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Just doesn't have a lot of wiggle. Can we all agree that the wiggle?
There we go, the boy.
Exactly. Should have said, my sister right here say you don't got no bag, big bro.
You got no wiggle. Girl over here says you have no wiggle.
No wiggles on no bags. Well, yeah, bro. And welcome back tonight to the I know you didn't see the meme, but on the broadcast they showed the walkouts.
Oh
and
yeah,
and for the first time in a while.
The
And my notes
lineups?
from the lineup walkout. And my notes was, if you weren't familiar, if you're just a casual fan watching this with your husband or something, after they call Lou Dort and the crowd say Lou. And then they call Jalen Williams and the crowd bark like a dog. Woo, 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 woo. And then the next was Chet and Holmgren. I mean, Chet and Hartenstein. They was just cheering loud as hell. If you didn't know no better, you were like, oh, what the hell they booing the brothers for? And that's some bullshit. So everybody who watched it, there was not boos. It was actually from the bottom of the heart cheers and Lou's and Bedard barks.
Can I ask y'all a question? Do you guys, can you guys hear the clappers during the broadcast?
We cannot.
Absolutely not.
It is constant. It's ringing in my ears and rah, 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 like the whole time. Every cheer, every chant, every kind of defense or whatever, it's got that clapper with it, and it's so fucking loud. It's all you hear. It's just rah, 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 even when they're not saying anything. They just go rah, 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 rah. So I was like, I don't know, is this getting picked up on the game broadcast?
They might lower it. Like you do in 2K where you can lower the crowd volume and like put it up in different ways. They lower the clappers.
I mean, when they cut it to 2, when the Pacers cut it to 2, was the arena still rap, or was it pumper in time? You
see how tight this is right here? Get a couple more rubber bands, wrap it up, because everyone was like, "Oh shit, I've seen this movie before."
All right, you can hear a pin drop.
But then the answer came. The answer came from Jalen Williams, and the answer came also from, there was I can't remember. There was a play that got overturned, I want to say.
It was the out of bounds. It was the out of bounds. It went to grab it, and Haliburton hit it out. Which
is crazy because they ended up turning it over immediately.
They threw it directly to Siakam for a dunk. It was like,
but like, just winning that challenge kind of breathed life again.
Yeah, you know what? Breath life again. They looked across the court and they didn't have to see the Terminator, TJ McConnell. They're like, oh man, this broke leg looking ass Marlon Wayans looking at, bro. He gravy. Come here, but please switch on me. Like, bro, if you hurt, sit down. I can't stress that enough.
Hey, so what was y'all feeling when TJ was wide open for that 3? Not the one that he stepped on the line and hit. The other one that came like a couple possessions later. Because we were all on media roll like,
bro, if he would hit that, the crowd would have went out for the
my controller for the TV.
Do they show Gainbridge Fieldhouse? Do they do the crowd shots over there?
Not. Hell nah.
They didn't.
Oh, that's terrible.
Bro, shot take 3 minutes to get out. My boy say,
he's got to load up on the threes. That's his problem. He's not strong enough. I don't know. He's got to
get the legs involved. The crazy thing about that, though, is he was getting the legs involved, and I thought he was trying to get his foot behind the line, and it still was on the line.
Yeah,
exactly. You can't do nothing about it.
He's got to get the legs involved to hit that 8-footer. That's the crazy thing.
He jumps like 5 feet in the air to hit an 8-foot jumper.
And it always squeaks in. It's never like with some great arc on it. It's always just creeps in.
Right. A lot of credit. A lot of stuff we're talking tonight, you feel me, is actual factuals. But the main actual factual is Oklahoma City Thunder defense, bro. Yeah. Smothering. They turned them boys over 19 times, 20. It looked like, bro, it was 19 in the fourth quarter. Then I saw like 5 more turnovers. Like, talk about their defense, what they've been able to do to these boys, Trista.
It's just relentless pressure. They're into their body. I think what ends up happening, too, is they're speeding everybody up. And so you're seeing the Pacers have maybe a decent shot, and then they spray out at an angle where you're able to just pick it off. And you saw that from Caruso 3-4 times where you've got Nembhard cutting into the lane, and then he's almost passing backward at a 45-degree angle. And that's what's getting forced. He's not passing forward into the corners. I think they're terrified. I think it's just the relentless pressure causes them to make mistakes, and then it compounds, and then you're in a hole, and then you try to press, and now you're dead. Now you're doing too much.
Yeah. What about you, Tony? What you saw from their defense tonight?
It feels like what the commentators, when everybody talks about how the Pacers break you down and continue to run and have that pace and wear teams out late in the third and fourth quarters, it feels like the tide has turned, and now the defensive pressure from the Oklahoma City Thunder is now starting to weigh heavy on what it is that the Pacers want to do. Haliburton hurt. They can't run. They can't get out as much as they want to. McConnell pushed it, and that's where they had their best run. But it's almost like in a heavyweight fight in UFC or boxing, the big guy is going to lean on you. He's going to lean on you. He's going to force you to not only try and punch back, but also have the weight of him on you. So when that defensive, when Oklahoma City puts their best defenders out on the court and it's crunch time, it's like that heavyweight lean where it's like, damn, how many more times can we drive into the lane, try to spray out, and then all of a sudden somebody breaks off, takes it, and goes for a pick six. It's like, how many times can we continue to do this without resulting in a shot that goes in? And it feels like the tide's turn where Oklahoma City now is just kind of grinding them on the defensive end.
Right. What about you, Amin?
You know what's crazy? There were so many turnovers tonight by Indiana that was basically guy dribbles, gets penetration, stops, has nowhere to go, loses his balance, and then like I see someone in a jersey like ours, I try to throw it his way, and it ended up in a turnover. I know Nembhard did it a bunch of times. Haliburton did it. Siakam did it, and it was kind of uncharacteristic because their offense is such bing, 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 bing. For them to be so like without a plan. Every time they got kind of collapsed and smothered. And shout out to Oklahoma City because they saw it, they knew it, they waited on it, and they pounced whenever it happened.
Yeah, I think to your point, Amin, they just slowed them down. They slowed the offense down. And when they got into their normal half-court set, it was just ugly. It was molasses out there. And then you got guys going into the paint and guys just standing around the perimeter. You can't have that. Yeah. That's one of the easiest passes to pick off when you have no cutting without the basketball.
Right. And we might see, I feel like every game, from game to game, we see a little bit of fools go from these Pacers because they can never consistently have nights together. Benedict Mathurin, where were you tonight? 2 field goals made. Obi Toppin, he had a couple more pivotal shots, but at the same time, he had some pivotal goofball moments as well.
That's the Obi Toppin, though. That's Obi Toppin for forever and all time.
Right. And then Miles Turner had some good plays, good offensive, just some good offensive plays, hit a tray ball, but then dumbass foul, then weak ass turnover. So it's like if they can never put together a game all together, it's like somebody has to be a hero when they win versus they just did a great team win, which sounds crazy, but that's my opinion.
Yo, I want to bring up something. I saw Tristan, you posted on Threads, like if I was a team that was trying to make that leap.
And immediately he melted in the sun. Immediately.
I didn't. That's not what I brought it up. I brought it up because I was really interested. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of dudes in this series, these unsung kind of guys. That I'm like, wow, I will go after. So I pulled up their cap sheets. And,
hold on, wait. What did the thread say?
I said, hold on, let me find it. So it was
also why you find it though. Hurricane Grad 09 says Jamal Tinsley ain't walking through that door.
Wow, Jamal Tinsley.
JuJu.
Chandler Brown said Trista secret sauce. Trista is a secret sauce of the post game. Oh, Dominique, what it do? My sister in the Lord Jesus Christ.
What it do? My sister in the Lord Jesus Christ.
Dominique.
Till I say what's happening, man. She's making big plays, man. She's doing the post-game shows, the real deal ones, not the little ones. Also, Cloud Feet says Trista is better than Kenny Smith. You hear it here first, man. This is the opinion of the
I'm running up to the screen barefooted. I said if I'm a young team looking for a two-way guard, a tough two-way guard, I do everything in my power to trade for Andrews. This is before email.
Hold on. Right now, we watching Amin getting kicked out of the building. This is more hilarious than whatever you about to say.
I did this for game 1 and game 2 with no problem. Plenty of NBA people have seen me, so.
Well, that's just what my instructions say.
Oh, wow.
The instructions we got was not on the wood. Not on the Yeah,
Tell her Tristan's on the broadcast.
Yeah, Wood's right there.
Wow.
Specifically, I
I
sat
changed
here.
my tab, so I didn't even see this.
in one of game two because it's not on the wood.
My boy about to get kicked out
And
for
arena
six with
security
the.
and NBA security are both.
Arena security.
Bruh, sis got on the green blazer.
Oh,
I feel like if she gonna
Just
be
won
this
the
mean to us,
Masters.
we finna
Just
just
won the
flame her
Masters.
up.
let me pull up the email.
I'm not gonna flame her up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let sis live right now. She's just doing her job. Sis, tell her what your tweet said again.
Oh, all I
There
said
it is.
was, hold on, I'll get cut off again if I do it. I know I'll get cut off. There it is. There it is. I said, if I'm a young team looking for a tough two-way guard, I do everything in my power to trade for Andrew Nembhard. He can finish through contact and over much bigger defenders, guard the other team's best player, get his own shot off the dribble, and more. And you know what else the and more was? Turn the ball over and some more. So that was literally
my notes.
10, 15 minutes after.
Bruh, I can't fault you for that. My notes was Nembhard is a tough ass player. He's a Pacers' toughest player. He literally earned himself a contract tonight, followed by whoops, terrible turnover, another one. Okay, this is the worst game he's ever played. So it's like I felt you.
To Amin's point, there's a lot of cheap players that are on both of these rosters that I think can be very significant for other teams that are rebuilding. You've got, obviously, Nembhard. You've got Nesmith, who I think is an awesome wing as well. And Nesmith had a very low-key, good game, too. 4 threes, had that put-back dunk, played decent defense this time around. You got, I think, Aaron Wiggins could do some things, like on a team like the Mavericks, who need some shooting.
Spot up 3-and-D guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spot up 3-and-D guy. Guys that are deep into the bench that these two championship teams don't have room for. They're just going to get spot minutes. And I think that this is going to be a coming out party for them, either now, like a Desmond Bane-like trade, obviously not for that haul, or down the road when they become free agents.
Look, I think Aaron Wiggins and all them players better get ready to learn first round in these. Put sis on the mic. We got to talk to sis at a certain point because she's just all in the way with her green blazer, with her shoulder pads. Salute to her.
She said Paycor.
I love it.
She's rocking that Paycor green.
Exactly. And maybe this is a great time to remind the people, if you're suffering from moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, go ahead and jump to skyrizzy.com. Them folks got you covered, man. No doctor.
Shout out to Skyrizzy. Shout out to Skyrizzy. Nothing is everything, or whatever that song goes.
Look, my boy survived it. He survived the green.
Of course,
you feel me? The wicked witch of the Oklahoma.
No. We're not. Everyone just doing their job. It's not a big deal. But also, I'm doing my job.
Exactly.
You know what, man?
It's a green point. It's a green point out there, folks. It's just mental health month.
It's all good.
Cut me some slack.
We're all good. So where are we? Yeah, these guys are all under contract. It's crazy. It's insane. I was looking at Tristan. I was like, who's the guy? It's basically Miles Turner's the only one on either one of these teams who's going to be available. Everybody else, I look at Oklahoma City.
Is Lou Dort? I think Lou Dort is a guy that's kind of expendable, no?
He's got a player option on 26-27. So he's got next year and then a player option on the year after that. He'll probably opt out because where the cap is going. But then everyone else, Isaiah Joe, 2 more years in a team option. Chet obviously is going to be up for an extension. Aaron Wiggins, 3 more years in a team option.
Nice.
Kenrich Williams, 4 more years after this.
Yep.
Caruso. Caruso's 4 more years after this. Excuse me. Kenrich Williams, 1 in a team option. Cason Wallace up for an extension.
Kenrich Williams, by the way, with the shag, the only NBA player with a shag on the back of his neck. Salute to Kenrich.
By the way, real quick PS before you finish your point, I just watched on TV that woman harass you on my television as I looked over at SVP. You can see it in the corner, just right at Kendrick. So I looked up and I saw her. Saw you on the screen.
I'm on NBA TV, so I ain't even see it. I was trying to catch my dog. I'm going to SVP.
I gotta go holler at Channing before he takes off. But so on the Indiana side, right? Like I said, Miles Turner, he'll be a free agent this offseason.
Yeah.
Siakam, Haliburton, Toppin, Nesmith, McConnell, all signed through at least 2027, if not more.
Yeah.
Benedict Mathurin up for an extension. Jarris Walker, he's got one more year, and he's got 2 more years. One's a team option.
Isaiah Jackson's the only one who's done this.
Isaiah Jackson and Isaiah Jackson obviously hasn't played all year long because of that injury that he suffered. So, and then Nembhard is signed for 3 more years after this one. His extension kicks in. So it's both of these teams. Everyone's like, oh, they're gonna have to figure out how to pay everybody. Yes, not next year though. They still got time. They still got time to do this all over again.
Yeah. Is it over for the Pacers right now? They're going back game 6 in Indianapolis. Is it a Dunyan? Is it a Dunser? But
want to hear something crazy?
I
think this one's going 7, man.
Same.
Wow.
And JuJu, I think it's anyone's series.
Wow.
Bold at 3-2.
I'm gonna tell you, I thought tonight, oh, here we go. This is the real Oklahoma City Thunder gonna slap these guys around. And then it's going to be like, oh, remember when that series was kind of close? Oh, that was fun. And then that third quarter happened, and then like in the beginning of the fourth, and I'm like, I don't know, man. These guys, like, this is Indiana played terrible tonight.
Yeah.
Other than McConnell, name someone who's like, oh yeah, he balled out tonight. Everyone kind of like had not games to write home about, and they still had a chance.
Yeah.
They had a chance. I'm not saying it was a good chance by the end of it, but like midway through that fourth quarter, it was a possibility. So I don't know, man. I think this thing's going 7.
32 points. 32 points conceded off of turnovers, y'all. 32 for OKC. That's the game right there. If you can clean that up, and that's a big if, and this is in Indy, which I think is obviously got to give the edge. I mean, we need Haliburton to get a calf transplant between now and Thursday. Like that's he's not looking right, and he hasn't looked right since what? What was the game where we saw him limping? Was it after game 2?
Game 2.
After game 2.
Yeah. And then
he turned it up in game 3 though.
Yep,
right. He went crazy game 3. So that's my problem with Tyrese. These type of games right here.
That's like, I'm not saying bounce.
You feel me? I'm not saying you're not a great player, but I am saying
Amin caught it, yo.
He shot his ass.
Shot him up real quick.
Bro, they should have shot him with some Secret of the Ooze from the Ninja Turtles or something because it ain't work.
Listen, the Toradol hurts after you take it. So I've never had Toradol, but
it burns.
It burns. It wears off. You gotta keep. It's like the Marvel juice. You gotta keep injecting yourself with that and stay high off it.
Well, salute to Cody, smithing, Jacoby Walker, Beach. Roasted, Eric, Motion. Come on, man. Salute to y'all, bro. Chandler Brown again. I see you, dog. And the kid Brusco. Even though Brusco be talking shit. Huh?
It's some NFL ass names, man. Chad Motion and Jacoby Walker. Like, these guys Chandler, what was Chandler? Chandler who? You said Chandler Brown.
These are shoot him up.
NFL ass names, man.
Shoot him up, Deshaun. What up,
let's shoot him up. Come on, Deshaun. We see you, bro. Appreciate you for pulling up on us tonight, man. Now, get to some NBA news. Desmond Bane done got his ass traded to the Orlando Magic, a.k.a. O-Town, you feel me, for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Cole Anthony, and a plethora of first-round picks. What y'all think about those picks right there? What that trade right there? What is it? Good trade? Is it a bad trade? Did they overpay? Is it right on time? What you think, sis?
I wonder if the Pacers weren't in the finals and it was the Celtics, whether the Magic make this trade. I think when you see two teams that people felt okay about, I mean, I think people felt better about the Knicks in the offseason than they did about the Pacers. I think people thought that the Pacers Eastern Conference Finals run was fool's gold. But you see that Tatum's going to be out all next year. You've got no faith in Cleveland. They're kind of getting punked right now. What is this team? I don't believe. The Knicks can't find a head coach. And if you're Orlando, who had a top 5 defense last year, and you're really only missing a true big guard that can catch and shoot threes, create himself, also play a little point guard as well to match with Jalen Suggs, then you have to just say, fuck them picks.
Fuck them picks. And just a reminder before you go, I'm gonna shoot to Tony. Jalen Suggs, every time I hear my brother's name, I love my brother. Yeah, feel me? Like, come on, bro. We watch UFC fight together. You my brother. I love you. But come home tonight, sir. Wherever you
Derek
hear
White is calling. Derek White is calling.
Haley Van Lith, I don't put up with this, sis. Tony, what you think about the trade?
I just feel like Orlando got together, the brass of Orlando got together and looked around and said, we're a Desmond Bane away from being title contenders. And that to me is like, really? We're a Desmond Bane away. I get the East is weak. Who knows where Giannis ends up? If he goes out west, the East is even more wide open. But it's like Desmond Bane is the guy that you're like, oh, okay, we're that piece away from making something happen. I like Paulo. I like Wagner. Like, I like these guys, but it just feels to me like you gave up how much? 4 first-round picks? And it's like, I get the window is you don't want to – those 4 first-round picks, especially going into 2030, whatever, the timeline doesn't add up with the guys you got right now, right? Like, this is a win-now window for Wagner, for Banchero, for all these guys, but I don't know. It just felt to me like desperation, and it makes me think even more so for a trade for Giannis. We're looking at 4 for Desmond Bane. We're looking at 5 for Mikal Bridges. We're looking at 5 for Rudy Gobert. What record-breaking trade are we going to get for Giannis? Is he going to go for 9 first-round picks? Like, I don't know.
The one issue there, the one rebuttal I have is that KCP was so bad that you needed to attach
yes,
in order to get rid of him. So if it was just Desmond Bane and no KCP and it was some other valuable, it was like young players that you could salary match, it'd probably be like 3 first-round picks.
Okay.
You know? So, and I think people would be a little bit less skeptical or like killing them for that. But KCP was in an offense that did not suit him. Everything was a slog. I wouldn't be surprised if we got to see the 40% three-point shot from KCP that we saw his entire career before this year. This is going to be a much better situation for him in this new style of offense with Memphis, I think.
Yeah, because last year, under KCP, 9.5 points, fed families, fed neighborhoods, put power up where Akon was putting power up in Africa on KCP unders. I mean, what you think, bro?
You merely adopted a lot of draft capital. I was traded for it. Dude, look, here's my problem, right? Because people just say 4 picks and a pick swap, and we don't really talk about what exactly was traded, right? So one of them is a 2025 pick that's, I believe, 16th. Going to be 16th in this draft. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's fine.
It's the Phoenix pick.
Then you got the Phoenix pick in 2026, right? And does anyone here raise your hand if you have confidence that Phoenix is going to figure it all out and have their life together by 2026, right?
Might have another coach even after the coach they just fired now.
Yeah. Right. And again, remember, everything we're talking about is unprotected in terms of these picks that are going. So the 16, all right, that's cool. We know what it is. That's fine. No condoms, right? So then the Phoenix pick in 2026, unprotected. God knows where that's going to end up. And then you've got your own 28 and 30. Now, here's the problem. The reason you try not to trade your unprotected first-round picks is that is your insurance in case catastrophe strikes. Not saying you guys are going to mismanage your life, but we just saw a season where your 2 best players missed a shit ton of time. And yes, it was admirable, and they kept the ship afloat and all that stuff, but shit can go south very quickly, and it sucks to not have the ability to be like, it's okay, guys. Yes, we had a down year because of these injuries, but we're protected. This is our insurance policy. So you basically trade away your insurance policy. If anything goes wrong in either of those 2 years, boom, you have no recourse. And then finally, the pick swap, which is, they say lightly protected, which lightly protected means top 2. Again, 2029 is a ways away. And we might be in a situation where God knows what happens. Where somebody says, man, get me out of here. I don't like it here, da-da-da. And so now we say, okay, this is the risk that we're inheriting. What are we getting in return for this risk? Am I getting an all-NBA performer? No. Am I getting an all-defensive team performer? No. I'm getting an all-star? No. I'm getting a good player. He's a good player. But is he worth what we're giving up? And I think you guys are all right. This is all about, hey man, the Pacers just made the finals, and at the time, probably when they're talking about this, we're up 2-1 in the finals. So the door feels wide open in the Eastern Conference to be aggressive. But I've been in enough of these things to know the negotiation doesn't go, we'll give you 1 pick. No, that's not enough. How about 2 picks? No, that's not enough. They didn't build their way to this.
Yeah.
They probably called and said, hey man, what's up with Desmond Bane? And Memphis said, what do we want for Desmond Bane? 4 unprotected and a pick swap. Yeah, and a pick swap too. Yeah. And then you said, they like, okay. Like, oh shit, they did it. They said yes. Now, for everyone saying, what does this do for the market, right? It doesn't matter. Like, you can be like, I'm trying to trade Giannis or I'm trying to trade KD and say, oh, Desmond Bane just went for this much.
Yeah.
The reality is most of the other teams are going to tell you, okay, then you need to call Orlando and see if they can do that deal for you again. Because they're the ones that mess up in the same way that Mikal Bridges didn't flip the trade market. Or Rudy Gobert didn't flip the trade market, right? And then the last thing I'll say about this, and this is really important. When was the last time one of these mega give you everything I have deals for not an all fill in the blank player happened and it worked?
Right.
When did it happen? Rudy Gobert, 3-time defensive player of the year when he got traded, right? Kevin Durant, obviously Kevin Durant, right? Drew Holiday had been all defensive team and an all-star, right? Who are the other guys? Damian Lillard, Anthony Davis, all like every time this has happened in our league for guys of note, okay, your team takes a step or whatever. But if it's just some guy, like what's the track record of this working out?
But Cole Anthony did dunk in a pair of Timberland boots in the dunk contest. So there's that.
So that's the other part, right? Like Memphis did this deal, and you would think, oh, Memphis is tearing it down. But you guys already mentioned, like, I kind of feel like KCP fits this a lot better, right? With a real point guard and a real system, and just the ability to do what he does best, not volume shoot, but catch and shoot, right? And Cole Anthony's a great bench player. So you look at Memphis, and Memphis saying, well, hold up. I like Desmond Bane, and I think I may be taking a discount on the talent, going down from Bane to KCP and Cole Anthony. But it ain't this. It's they save money this year. And then this is the other part that nobody remembers. Desmond Bane makes max, ladies and gentlemen. He is a max level player. He is so maxed out. He has a trade kicker. They have to avoid the trade kicker because then he would have got paid more than max. So, like, if you think about, like, what am I spending and what am I getting for what I'm spending? Like, Memphis managed to stay relatively the same competitive level. Cut their spending into this year, cut their spending long term, add 4 unprotected first round picks, including at least one that we know is probably going to be good in the Phoenix one, and a pick swap that's only top 2 protected. Ladies and gentlemen, I know what Bill Simmons and all these cats are saying, like, oh, you must not watch. Look, dog, no one's questioned Desmond Bane's ability or his fit for what Orlando needs. I need me a reliable car that gets me from home to school to work with great gas mileage and cheap maintenance and all that. It's called the Toyota Corolla. Should I pay $250,000 for it? Does that make sense?
No,
absolutely not.
And to your point, Amin, like, you already saw the offense work with a spot up shooter with Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard was like a top 5 3-point percentage shooter, but he couldn't play any goddamn defense. So it was hard to keep him on the floor. KCP can defend his ass off. And if he can do anything or get any of the looks that Luke Kennard got, we're talking about Luke Kennard shot 44% from 3 last year, 45% from 3 the year before. Now you're talking about getting KCP at a discount and getting off of a contract you didn't want to be in on in the first place because you got swept with this core. And now you got to figure out a way to extend Jaw and pay Jaren Jackson, who I wouldn't pay, but is
that still in the cards though? Is that are Memphis done moving stuff?
From what I gather, and I don't have nearly as much intel as probably Amin does, but around Memphis, this is like headed for a Jaw extension, and it's more of a retool than a rebuild.
Yeah, but remember they got swept. But Ja Morant say if he wouldn't have got hurt, he had figured the Thunder out. So there's that.
Yeah, that's the best place to be. Hey, man, if it wasn't, but I get hurt.
If they didn't hold me back, I was gonna kick your ass.
Tony, what you think about this trade, bro? Is it worth it?
I mean, if I'm Memphis, I'm happy, right?
Yeah.
If I'm Orlando, I'm looking across everybody talking and being like, who was the one that said 4 first rounders? Who said that? Get that guy out of here. He's got to go. Again, if you honestly believe you're a Desmond Bane away, God bless you. Like, all right, we're gonna see it next year in a weekend East. If you're a Desmond Bane away, I need the Orlando Magic 4, 3, 2, 1. I mean, I need them in that seating in the East.
Yeah,
but look, again, the part of it is it's kind of what Chris was talking about. Boston is not going to be there anymore, so that's a big gap right there. New York, I was talking to some of the national guys here. I said, are they going to have a coach by the draft? And the consensus is like, no, they're not.
Wow.
So that's already kind of like a situation in flux. Milwaukee is whatever Milwaukee is. Dame is out for the year, so it's going to be Giannis and them boys yet again.
Maybe.
It's so really you're talking about who's our competition. It's Indiana,
Cleveland,
and it's Cleveland. Like those are the teams that they expect.
And we saw, sorry, JuJu, and we saw Orlando push Cleveland to 7 2 years ago. And they were desperate for threes. I saw them, it was like 201 totals. And we were getting like 87, 83 games because they were getting open 3 after open 3, and it was just clank, clank, clank. If you could get a couple of reliable players to shoot threes on your team, and Jalen Suggs can shoot the 3, but he can't shoot all the threes, then you say, well, we could beat Cleveland. That's for sure.
Yeah. And perfect segue. Well, not even segue. El Furioso 85 says, was JuJu wearing a Pacers jersey before this? I absolutely was, because you know what? I don't give a damn about the Pacers or the Thunder. I'm a Boston Celtics fan, never forget. And we are down bad, but we are not in the finals. So if I got a Pacers jersey in the closet and a Thunder jersey in the closet, when else am I going to wear these goddamn son of a guns? You feel me? But salute to you trying to embarrass me on local YouTube radio. Also salute to J-Mac, Chandler Brown, also Cloud Feet, of course, again. Come on, bro. Thank y'all for staying with us. But yeah, bro, how do y'all feel about Kevin Durant and his situation? A lot of people in the chat tonight saying, maybe it's Heat culture, maybe it's Houston swinging, maybe he gonna grow himself a shag like Kendrick.
Like
Kenrich. What y'all think about the Bull?
He's the betting favorite right now to land KD. I know that doesn't really matter because every report every other day is like, oh, he wants Houston or San Antonio. Oh, now the Heat are the betting favorite. Oh, this, oh, that. It just feels like a lot of work to figure out if a guy who's 37 years old off an Achilles injury is going to show up at your team. And again, I'm saying that with probably admitting that he'd probably be the number one option and the best player on the team the moment he steps into Miami. But
probably.
I was giving the benefit of the doubt too.
Did you watch him? Hey, shout out to Greg Cody, the biggest blowout in the first round in the history of basketball, man.
It was, and we thought it was going to be Memphis and OKC. He's automatically the best player on the court in Miami, and it's like how many times can as a Heat fan can we do this to ourselves? Where it's like, all right, we're going to get the whale, we're going to get the big fish. Here it is. Pat swing and a miss, and Damian Lillard and Joe Cronin go an opposite direction. You're like, damn. And then it messes with your psyche to the point where you're like, I don't even want it anymore. Just if it happens, it happens. Great. I don't care. I don't want it anymore. If I want it, then I lose out when it doesn't happen. If I don't want it, then I'm surprised when it does happen.
So this is what I'm going to say. A lot of times in the NBA, deals that get made, the negotiation actually started a lot earlier with an attempt to get a deal made. With Miami specifically, that's how Kyle Lowry became a Miami Heat player. They started at the trade deadline and then they couldn't get it done. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's a good deal.
My bad. I didn't know y'all could hear me. I thought that.
The mechanics of deal making is that sometimes the conversation begins and then you try to get it by the deadline and it doesn't work, but the conversation continues after that. And then you get to the offseason and then the deal happens. So Miami obviously was in advanced stages at the trade deadline to get KD part of a Jimmy Butler deal. At one point, they were like, well, what about What about just us two doing a deal, Miami and Phoenix? And so that fell apart. I think the big thing is Phoenix is finding that ain't nobody lining up to deliver 8 billion picks for KD. You have to convince him to stay because he's got 1 year left. So wherever he goes, he's got to say, okay, I'll sign an extension. And then after that, Phoenix has to get something that they feel like is of value. It sounds like Houston not trying to do that. It sounds like San Antonio not trying to do that. Sounds like Minnesota's trying, but Phoenix doesn't like what they have to offer. And so I will say this, and I know a lot of people be angry, but I'm going to do this because Dan ain't here, so I don't have to worry about Dan. Like, come on, what are you doing? There is a dark horse.
Uh-oh.
Team that is out there. I'm not going to name the team. It is in the Western Conference.
Oof.
Is it Portland?
I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to say no. I'm just saying there's another that has not been mentioned in any reports.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Lakers.
The Anaheim Amigos. Anaheim Amigos are
The Santa Cruz Warriors.
Is that a
Cucamonga? You know who?
Rancho Cucamonga.
Right. I don't know, bro. Look, my eyes ain't good. I be having the shades on. For a split second, I thought that was Doris Burke behind you. I was like, boy, if you don't grab Doris, that is not Doris Burke, though.
That's Norris.
Norris
Right.
work. No, I think
Salute to Joshua Tony too, by the way, in the chat. Salute to Joshua Tony. I see you.
To your
ahead,
point,
sis.
I mean, I think there's just not a lot of great options for where Kevin could go because, like you're saying, he's just old. He's had injury issues. Phoenix has probably an inflated worth of what they should get back for him because what they feel like they just paid for him, which they paid over. That was an overpay. There was a new owner, illustrious sort of move. Let me just swing as hard as I can. So, and then there's just not those teams that have enough assets to go and get them. Why would you want to use your entire cupboards on a guy who's probably going to play 3 more years?
Really
and now
quick.
you figure it out.
My bad, Tris. I got to shout out Anthony Daniels Jr. in the chat. Amin, are you in the Omni? I just ran into Stephen A. Yes, I'm in the Omni right now. Could you see? There's the lobby bar right
green
there.
Screen.
Bro, if you turn to ESPN, you can see my dog right over the shoulder of Scott Van Pelt and them folks. I'm looking at my boy right there. I'm like, look at him. I'm about taking time
Are
out
you
for
in the
us,
Omni?
man.
It's green screen. It's green. Amin's on green screen. A green screen.
There's a green
Right.
jacket around here too.
Hey.
Salute to Rory. Well, yeah, man. Look, I
A
think
tradition
them
unlike
boys,
any other.
right. I think them boys done. I think you can stick a fork in the Pacers. I think it's a wrap because I think Haliburton should have sat down this game right here, and I feel like rest up and get yourself ready for Game 6. And since he did not, I think they might get blown out. Game 6 might be the most boring game that we've ever saw in the history of the NBA Finals, which means if you're betting with me that the Pacers gonna win in a close game.
Yeah, right.
only if it's the third leg of a 3-leg
Bruh,
parlay, right?
Don't get me started on that. Another week
It's
again,
Thursday.
2 out
Oh,
of 3 on Thursday.
Game 6 on Thursday, so that
Game
means you
six,
got
yeah,
JuJu,
on Thursday.
Thursday
Let's
Sunday.
go.
Lock them in. 2 out of 3 kid right here. If it was like an ESPN for real documentary on my 2 out of 3 picks, I feel like it could get a couple million views. Like it'll be as good as the Pistons one.
JuJu, they'll make that documentary. It'll be a 20 for 30.
Don't do it like that. That's how much money I done lost, 20 to 30. Look, I'm gonna switch gears right now because I seen some shit on my sister IG story. I don't know if it was Twitter or what, but I got a guilty pleasure right now. That's not the NBA Finals because it's 3 days in between these finals. I got a guilty pleasure right now, and I want to raise my hand. My name is Julian, and I'm locked into Love Island.
Yes. Ju. Do you guys watch? Do you other two watch this? Okay.
I know, dog. I know.
So there's a guy on there. I'm so glad that you know of this. And it's not just because of the dreads, Ju. It's not just because of the dreads. Your energy is so similar to Taylor's energy. I'm like, this dude Taylor's the coolest one in the house, man. Like this is what JuJu would be if he was on Love Island.
Bruh, I feel you. but at the same time,
he's super skinny.
he
He's like
goofy as hell, and he ain't taking advantage of his situation. We ain't gonna talk about this, but I just wanted to acknowledge this
Thank you.
on the camera, just because I want my sister to feel alone in these streets. Look, my boy Tony taking his stocks. He's taking his Bitcoin.
I just saw over 15 games for SGA over 30 points in the playoffs. Joins Michael, Hakeem, Kobe, and somebody else. Pretty good.
15 games total, right?
15 games over 30 points in the postseason. Yeah, it's crazy.
And look, and they get the W's every time he score over 30. And the Pacers get a L every time they don't play Thomas Bryant. Yeah. Neither here nor there. Any final words from my dogs tonight, man? We're going to get up out of here, man. We appreciate y'all for locking in with us all night. Salute the Summers, Swimmers, whoever you are with the V. I see you. Sis, what you got to say? Last words.
Just a shout out to Juan Dominguez for keeping his hating to a minimum.
Wow.
I had to get on my mom's throat and tell her to stay out of the YouTube chat to try to protect her daughter's name.
Classic.
So thank you for keeping Mama Crick chill on a Monday night.
Right. Salute the Big Perp as well. I see you, bro. Tony, any last words?
Thunder in 6. 6. Maybe. I hope.
I feel it.
For my parlay, maybe. I hope. At the end of the week, I'm hoping to have this. On Friday, I'm hoping to have. So I got a long season parlay like we know. I've already talked about it. OKC to win the finals, the Panthers to win the Cup, and then the Dodgers to win the World Series. By Friday, I could have 2 of the 3 legs locked in. So that's what I'm hoping for right now.
What are the Panthers at right now?
Panthers are up 3-2. Coming back to Sunrise tomorrow. They can finish it tomorrow. Yeah.
Wow. How about that? A little back-to-back action. By the way, has the Shohei pitch yet? I heard a rumor that he was going to pitch.
He pitched 1 inning and gave up 1 run tonight.
I knew it was going to be something corny like that, man.
Gotta get your feet wet. We good.
You gotta dip back in. We gotta crawl for you out. Salute to Vinay Suri and Nick T in the chat as well. Any last words? I mean,
nah, man. This is a great game. It's been a great series. I hope everyone's paying attention. I hope next year both of these teams get a lot of attention from the national media and everybody. So, other than that, man, I'll see y'all in Indiana. Are we doing one of these for Thursday?
Yeah, you got to know.
Okay.
The last one ever on Thursday, because you already know what's happening. Lights out. And with that, thank y'all again for tuning in.
One more, Ju.
Go ahead.
Sorry, shameless promo. I got Angel McCautry on the podcast. Let her shoot tomorrow.
Let's go.
And she spills a lot of tea. She was hilarious. Her the first thing she came out with, her smoke detector had the battery that was already going dead. So you heard the beeping in the background the whole interview. It was a classic.
Damn.
She talked about Angel Reese being from Baltimore. She's from Baltimore. Great stuff. So if you want to hear from her and you're a WNBA fan, go and tune in.
You got to know Atlanta Dream legend, man. Salute to the WNBA, man. Salute to all the sisters over there. Caitlin Clark is back, ladies and gentlemen, as well. Back with a big tray ball in her arm and just stay there. But neither here nor there, man. Thank y'all again for tuning in. Thank you, as always, to Miss Rebecca Donahue. Follow my sister on IG, Miss Rebecca Donahue. You got to dig it. Without her, none of this wouldn't be as fabulous as we look. You feel me? Also, salute to Bailey Carlin as well, man. Keeping us together, dog. My boy, salute, bro. He keeping us, you know what I mean, boxed in and locked in every way we can be, dog. Thank y'all again for tuning in. Catch us on Thursday night for the pivotal game, probably the last one. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace out, fellas and sisters, and my non-binary family.
Peace.
Peace.